Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Do I think I'm better? No. Tell you why. Tell you why I went on that wave, that thought for people. It works so well. I had heard, oh, it was probably about a half a year ago. I heard this instructor, a teacher, and beyond scholar and somewhat of a spiritual leader. He was so frustrated. He had told his peers that thought they were scholars and whatnot that they weren't even digging down to the truth of the situation. He was so angry. He probably doesn't even remember saying this because it was in the middle of, like, he tried to not even debate, but show proof to other people that said they were scholars or whatever. Um, and he was so pissed off. He screamed into the camera. It was live. He's like, I can't remember his exact words, but I do remember the feeling and how it hit me. I'm better than you. I'm like, whoa. Not only is that blatant and bold and talk about utter freedom from caring what anybody thought at that point, because this dude was frustrated from many decades of learning the truth about a lot of things to get it out for people, and he was like on the edge of the cliff with his emotions. I could see that. There was no doubt in my mind. And I just remembered how it hit me. And so I thought, well, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use it in a different way to wake some people up because a lot of people don't really understand the scriptures very well, and they'll use them in good intent towards people, but in the wrong way, actually even harming themselves in the process. So I thought, oh yeah, I knew I was going to ruffle some feathers, so no doubt, you know. But okay, let's put it this way. I haven't been to Hawaii, Alaska, Washington, or Oregon, but I've been all over North America, Mexico, Canada, and everywhere in between. There's no other states besides the ones I've mentioned that I haven't been to, and I've met tens of thousands of people through my travels. Do I think I'm better? I acted better most of the time than everybody or anybody I met. That told me a lot about what I needed to know about myself. So do I think I'm better? Ultimately, no, because people grow, their spirits grow, um, and that's really what this world is all about anyway, is understanding our origins, you know, and the history behind it that has been so twisted to keep everybody so submissive and so sad and on that low vibe, because we have been conditioned to pass that on as a learning tool and a teaching tool towards people. And it's just so demeaning and so um, unnatural. So I thought, I'm going to switch this up. The only way I could think to do it was to become the target and let people expose who they are. But no, I do see people, and I see when people are in pain, and if I can help them, that's what I've always done. And I've never asked for anything in return. I really only want true friendship, people that don't lie, and a clean, comfortable place to live, and a good car. But besides that, because I do live in hell, and no matter what I do, um, I can't have my home the way I want it, because it just doesn't work unless other people around me are participating and they're not. So excuse me one moment. I have sort of a OCD, and if something's like out of line, yeah, kind of like life, I have OCD with people too. If they're out of line, I gotta say something, or try and help them somehow. Usually, yeah, I use my anger a lot of times. People don't care one way or another. I've well, yeah, if they're open to my kindness, but a lot of times people think that's fake anyway. So, yeah. I just wanted to tell you the truth. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I usually act better, but no, I'm not. Ultimately, they have the same opportunities, actually, even more than I've ever had to be well behaved and decent human beings out here. So, cheers, everybody. Happy weekend to you. Sometimes I enjoy being mean because I have to. The hell people put me through, sometimes they don't even understand what they're doing to me. But just, of course, I'm going to retaliate when I can't take any more. You would too. When you've been pushed too far, you're probably going to say or do something about it if you can to stop the pain, you know? So I don't lie though. When I did say I'm better, I mean I am better, better than I was, and better than most people. So, better than I was. How was I? I was used since I was a baby, but I always knew something was wrong, and that's why I did get emancipated, divorced my parents, because I knew better than they did. And I needed to prove that in life, to do things by myself without anybody backing me up, ever, ever. Nobody's ever been for me in any of my endeavors. In fact, they've put things in my way to make me fail. Everybody I've ever come across. So for people to be able to stand up and be strong like I am, I'm seeing more of it, more than I ever have in my life. So, yeah. So, anyway, I shared a really beautiful love song from, I think it's, probably 1974. Could be a little bit older. It's the Spinners and Dionne Warwick. Then Came You. Um, for my friends, I shared it in my community and on my Facebook page. You're more than welcome to come over to my Facebook page. You never know what I'm going to share over there. And I would say, don't take everything, take it with a grain of salt. Whatever I share could be even my dark humor coming out. So don't um place bets on that's my personality or something. You know what I'm saying? It's versatile. You never know. I've been on there before they changed it the first time. When it first began, I was on there with my business, Breaking Horses, called Gentle Fool. So, um, yeah, a long time ago, before it was even a social media platform, it was a business person's platform. And I've been on there since day one, long time ago. So, yeah. And I've been on LinkedIn and all the rest of them. Well, maybe not all of them, not lately. There's some like Truth Social or Trump, whatever he's got. You're not catching me over there. I don't do anything political anymore. I just don't want to hear it. And knowing that God takes care of everybody and no innocents are ever going to be harmed in all reality, even with these wars and different things that are going on, I don't let this stuff get to me. You can't. I mean, you would say, well, what if it was you? It has been me all my life. So when I look at other people suffering, I know they're going to be okay no matter what, you know. And there's a lot of people that are actually soulless, whether you believe that or not. So the things that are being destroyed aren't what most people think. That's what I truly believe, and that God will protect all innocence. Maybe he would even take a baby because it was in a wrong area or wrong home or whatever, you know. So, or maybe that baby that could be suffering is part of such a sick bloodline that it doesn't actually have a soul. You have to consider the times we're living in before you let your sorrow grab you and let Satan push you down in that, or the devil, I should say, push you down into that quagmire, you know. So I just wanted to let you know, no, I don't think I'm above all that. I'm like that, a sandwich and a bag of chips with your Coke or whatever. No, I don't. And I never have. I've always treated people with dignity if they deserve it. Sometimes even when they don't, when I can see that they lost theirs or somebody else is trying to actually take it from them, you know. And yeah, I do spiritually heal. So if you need some help, just let me know, you know, and I'll connect with that mind for other people for their pieces that I can connect with for them free of charge. I don't want anything. Not really. I mean, I'm okay no matter what all the time. I've only had me like that anyway, so um, that's why I seem so independent and so odd and whatever. Excuse me. I haven't had a choice, you know. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I just wanted to get on here and tell you sweet people I'm a little different than what you even to be mean is a big joke to me sometimes, but it's usually a big damn joke. Just keep that in mind. You know, I'm an actress in that sense because my heart isn't behind anything mean and I'm never cruel. I always have words to pull a certain somebody out of a jam because they're meant for more. And I speak in modern language, so it's going to have that impact in human reality. No fluff, no baloney, just real raw, not crass, not rude, or intentionally mean or cruel or nothing. None of that is behind that. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear for you and hope that helped your hearts a little bit. I'm the best friend you'll ever have, so don't think that um, I'm trying to be somebody I'm not or somebody special or whatever. No, I'm just a woman. I'm just human just like everybody else that I care. I love. I just wanted you to know that. So, but I still think it's funnier than hell. Man, did I ruffle some feathers? Woo. Speaking of birds, somebody had mentioned like listening to the birds and stuff. Yeah, I was just talking to Doug this morning. He's my estranged husband. Long story, doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean I'm not loyal in a certain sense. As far as I'm not out looking for nobody's nothing. I don't care about nothing really like that, and I've never really been like that. I've always been faithful. If people are faithful, if they're not, I let them go. It's pretty simple to me. But, what's I gonna say? Just a minute, I'll get back there, I think. Oh, the birds. Um, I had got, there used to be a Sears and Roebuck stores. I had went into Sears when I was a little kid. I lived in the city. I had two grandfathers, one with a lot of land in the city and another one with farm. And I had got this little chick for 25 cents. Peep, peeps, and raised it in my room. It used a box for like a litter box in its nest. It didn't mess in my room. She didn't do anything naughty in my room, and I had shag carpeting, and she kept it clean with me. I showed her how to just use her. I raised it all winter and took it out to my grandpa's farm in the spring. So I was probably one of the only few girls in the city that had a flippin' chicken, unless you lived in Mexico or something. And I could have got a duck, but there weren't any ducks out at my grandpa's farm, and I didn't want it to be lonely, but I would have preferred a duck. And then later I had calves and pigs and chickens, rabbits, different things that I raised, horse, um, horses. Um, let's see what else. Oh, I raised a baby pheasant that had been injured, and but that was in the basement. I put him in the basement. He was a little bigger. He had got blinded, and I taught him how to forage with no sight. Took me about half a year, and then I freed him back into the wild. I taught him a few things to keep him safe, and I raised a baby robin in my room that had a broken wing. I splintered the wing. And then even where I live now, I have birds that have been around here for generations that are my friends. I walk down in the mailbox. There's these little ones I call pufferkin birds. They're a chickadee, a real fluffy one, and flocks of them will follow me down singing to me. In fact, I can hear them out in the trees. I hear them talking to me all the time. I have a hummingbird that comes to see me. It will fly around my house till it gets my attention in the spring when it comes back. So, as far as talking to the birds, I've been doing this all my life. So, let's see. What other birds have I had? I think I've had more than that. Maybe not. Well, anyway, and I worked at a chicken farm. Yeah. So yeah, I have a lot of experiences. Just about, must have been about 8 years ago now. It was in the middle of winter, and this Rhode Island red came up into our yard. Doug chased it around the car and picked her up, came over to my window, and he's like, "Look what I got, this chicken." So we built her a coop, and something got her, something made her. I think it might have been a neighbor's dog or something. I don't know. But I didn't have like chicken wire or nothing up for her. Just gave her a home, and she was around for couple years, I think. But we put like about $500 or $600 into oak floor in her chicken coop inside my horse's lean-to. So we put a lot of money into just building this area for this chicken. So I called her Chickolette. So yeah, I loved her. She'd jump into my arms, you know. She'd kick her eggs out of the nest for me. I didn't eat them, even when I raised chickens when I was a kid. When we moved out into the country, I got chickens, horses, rabbits, whatever, and I wouldn't even eat those eggs or the calves I raised or the pigs, none of it. Ick, no way. Everybody else they thought it was funny to tell me they were eating Willy burgers. I had a Holstein steer named Willie. I had two Hereford heifers, Wilma and Bessie, and my pigs were Hot Lips, Sweet Lips, and Ugg. He was so ugly. He was a pink pig, a Yorkshire, but he was so tall and skinny. He just was really kind of a real ugly pig. He was cute, but I mean, yeah, not as far as pigs are concerned. He was too skinny to be a ham bone for somebody's soup, you know? Then I had one out here I had gotten for my kids when they were little to just to have them raise some kind of livestock and know what that was like. We ended up, when she got growing, giving her to a friend of ours that had a barn and put her in there. Her name was Miss Piggy, and she would play frisbee with my kids. My youngest son would fall on the ground and pretend he was dying, and she'd run over there just screaming, thinking her kid was dead, you know. If I coughed, she'd copy me. She was cool, real cool animal. So yeah, I don't eat things I raise. I can't. I don't know how people do. When you have to survive, you're gonna do what you need, you know. And I suppose I would if that's the only choice I had, but no. And then I worked on ranches and different things that had mass quantities. I mean, tens of thousands of cattle, feeding like 4 ton of hay twice a day, that type of thing, you know. So yeah, I've fencing, doing it all. Rodent rodeos, bareback team roping, all kinds of things concerning animals, you know. So, anyway, that's enough about me. I just wanted to tell you I don't think I'm better, but if you do, that's okay. Then that'll be a good example of how to act when you know that your spirit is elevated. You can pick other people up, no matter what it takes. Even if I end up being the enemy, I'm good. I'm cool with that. Always have been anyway. So, okay, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.